I am so thrilled because spring is my second favorite season to craft for. In today's episode, we're going to be making easy high-end spring decor projects using Dollar Tree supplies, getting that high-end look on a crafter's budget. So come along and let's make something beautiful for our homes. This project has a high-end Pottery Barn feel and look to it. We're going to be using this large egg that I got from Walmart, but you can honestly find these at the Dollar Tree too. It's just one that I had on hand I wanted to use. Some Spanish moss from the Dollar Tree, this glass candle pedestal from the Dollar Tree, and then I did get this finial topper from Hobby Lobby, but I get them on sale, so just keep an eye out for them. I wish the Dollar Tree would sell finial toppers. A good substitute for it is getting a chest game set and use some of those game pieces for a topper. We are going to glue the finial topper into the top of the egg, remove the ribbon from the bottom of the egg, and now we're going to start bringing it all together. You can see that I came around the candle pedestal with some glue and some Spanish moss. Once that was glued on, now we're going to mount on our egg. I'm using lots of glue on this project, making sure everything seals together. I also would recommend adding in some E6000. That will always glue the foam pieces to a glass piece really well without it coming off. Now we're going to dress up the bottom of our egg stand just a little bit more. I have this beautiful ticking stripe ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I get it in the floral craft section. I'm just going to cut it to size and glue it down. Then to finish dressing it up, I'm going to create a simple bow. Make sure the ends are cut at an angle, or you can do a dovetail, but I like an angle cut on my ticking stripe ribbon. I'm going to glue that into place, and you have the most high-end looking decor piece for a bookshelf, mantle, or for a fireplace. I want to share this quick tip about E6000. I love using this turnkey on my bottle of E6000. It gets out every drop. It squeezes it all out. This is how I mount it on. Whenever I'm done with the old tube, I just untwist it, pull it off, flatten the new bottle on the end, put the key on, and then twist it and then pinch it down. That's going to make sure that it gets a nice tight turn every time. Now, if you've never used E6000 before, at the very top there is a little pointy tip, and that goes right into the metal. Don't squeeze the bottle too much or the glue will come spilling out like crazy. Then just make sure you tighten it. I had a subscriber tell me that if you put a little Vaseline around the tip, it will keep it from the glue getting all over it, and it'll allow you to open and close it easily. If you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up. It's a great way to give back to my channel if you're enjoying watching the videos. This project is so high-end on a Dollar Tree budget. I am so giddy to share it with all of you. I found this gorgeous carrot patch sign at the Dollar Tree. We're going to be using some Spanish moss, 2 crates, 2 packs of carrots, a large craft stick, and then I don't show it yet, but you'll see it eventually, 2 round half wooden beads. Take the craft stick and cut that in half. And then let's move on to our crates. We're going to glue those 2 pieces together, take our craft stick, glue that down into the box as well as the second one. This is what we're going to be mounting our sign onto so it can stand upright and create a darling farmer's market sign with our carrots. You can see here that that is now glued on, and I'm going to just make sure I've got everything all nice and straight before I glue it down. Add your glue to the craft sticks and then mount your sign on it. This is going to make sure you have a nice clean look on the back side of your sign. Hold it in place for a little bit, making sure that it's all locked in and nice and strong. And then we're going to move on to the crates. I'm going to take one of these foam blocks from the Dollar Tree. I keep a steak knife in my craft room. I find it is the best thing to work with when you're cutting these foam blocks. I cut the block in half, and then that half piece I cut it in half again. So now I have 2 of these 1/4 pieces. I'm going to glue those down into my crates, 1 in each crate, using lots of glue. I find that foam with wood glue really well together. Foam with terracotta or glass, I always recommend E6000. So hot glue will work really well for this part. Now we're going to bring in that Spanish moss to conceal the foam because we don't want to see that part. That's not as whimsical and fun. We're going to cover that up with some Spanish moss. Be careful not to burn your fingers. I like to go around the edge of my foam so that way I leave the room in the middle, not struggling getting my carrots down into the foam. I'll show you that in just a second, but you can see I went around the edge of the foam block, not throughout the middle of the foam block, and that's going to hold the moss in there nicely. Tuck it down in the sides so that you don't see the foam through the side holes of the crates. Now I'm going to take my painter's brush and I'm going to just stick that down in there to create a hole for my carrots. You don't have to use a painter's brush. You can use anything that's big enough to get that down in there to get the size that you need for the carrots. This is going to keep you from having to cut the carrots down. This is an easy way to do it. I'm just going to punch those holes down in there, and this is why I didn't put the glue on the middle part of the foam when I was putting in the Spanish moss. It's going to let it get in there nice and easy. So I'm just creating those holes. I'm adding that glue onto the carrots. Isn't this the easiest project? And it has such a high-end look. This is definitely something that you would see at a very high-end boutique store, and they would charge so much for this. And I think the total cost to make it, let me just think here. We've got the foam, we've got the Spanish moss, we've got the 2 crates, 2 bags of carrots, and the sign. So everything all together to make this is maybe at the most $8. And honestly, you know, the Spanish moss, you're only using a small amount of it. There's leftover foam. Friends, we could probably get away with making this for, I would say, like $6.50. This is just the cutest, easiest project, and it has such a high-end look. Now that I've got all my carrots in there, and you can see I didn't go into the foam for every single carrot, where I have that spacing, that extra space in there between the foam and the crate, I stuck some carrots in between that area too. I filled in all of those carrots from my 2 carrot packs that I purchased, and then up at the top to clean up those holes, I never like leaving those unfinished. I'm going to just add these half wood beads up at the top to conceal those holes, and it gives it a farmhouse look. It looks really nice. And then we are going to add in a ribbon next around the crates. This is going to clean up the line where those 2 boxes are coming together. I really like having a finished look on all my projects. It is the difference between it looks, you know, homemade versus you made it and it has a high-end quality look. I like projects like that here on my channel, and I hope you do too. I'm wrapping around this mesh tan ribbon I get from the Dollar Tree. Cut it down, and I would recommend when you're using this ribbon, it is very thin. You will burn yourself. So I like to use a popsicle stick on this just to bring it all together without getting burnt unnecessarily. Now I'm going to use this ticking stripe ribbon. I'm going to come around the sides, adding in the ribbon. Don't be afraid to readjust it like you see me doing here, making sure it's as straight as you possibly can. That creates an even higher end look when things look straight and tidy. I'm coming around the front of the box, adding down the ribbon, coming around the sides and the back. When I get to the back, I'm just going to cut off the extra ribbon. You could put one more half wood bead on the back to clean up that even more. That could be really beautiful back there. If you don't care about it, you can just glue down the ribbon and call it a day. You could even put a cute little button back there. It's up to whatever you want to do for your project, but glue that down into place. Now at the front of the sign, we could leave that as it is, but I decided I wanted to add a higher end looking bow versus the bow that it had on the sign. I just tied a simple bow with some Dollar Tree ribbon, I'm going to glue it down and manipulate it so that the glued bow is in a place that I want it to be. So when we pack it away on off seasons, it still looks nice and it's put away without it being destroyed. Sometimes bows get messed up when we put our decor away. And then would it be a Heidi project if we didn't finish it with a button in between the bow? I don't know, but this is the finished look. I hope you enjoy it and give it a try. So high end and so easy to make. I am so excited to share this project. It's super easy and has such a beautiful look when we're done. And these topiary bunnies are so trendy this year. We're going to make it on a Dollar Tree budget, and you are going to save tons of money not purchasing them from Pottery Barn. Take some foam, cut it down, put it into a terracotta pot. Now I'm going to use E6000. Foam and terracotta just don't want to go well together, especially if you're using only hot glue. So I'm going to add that E6000. It's porous, so it's going to lock into that terracotta, and then I'm going to put that hot glue in there to help it hold it in place while everything's drying. I'm now going to cut off this raffia bow from this bunny. I mean, it's not bad, but let's elevate it some more with a fabric ribbon. And that's the thing about the difference between buying something that is a little bit lower end versus higher end, has nicer bows. Friends, this scraper tool, I show it all the time here on my channel. I just got some glue on my table and I didn't want to leave it there, and it comes up so easily. It's a plastic blade. I highly recommend getting one for your craft room. It gets all the glue off my table. It takes off every tag and sticker from the back of a labeling packaged product. I love this scraper. I'm now taking my craft stick and I pre-punched a hole through the foam and up through my bunny, and now we're going to glue them together. Make sure you get lots of glue in there so that the bunny is nice and secure. We don't want over time for it to wiggle and come out. I don't end up showing it, but I do go back in and reinforce the bottom of that stick into the foam a little bit more. Now up into the bunny, I'm going to add that glue right into that pre-punched hole, but I let it sit for just a second or two, because if you don't, when you go to put it on the stick, the glue is just going to come running down the stick. So you can see here, I'm just kind of like taking a second, letting it dry just a little bit. It was really cold in my craft room on this day, so it was drying pretty quickly. And then when I put it on there, I'm just watching it, making sure the glue's not dripping down. If it does, I turn my bunny upside down to keep the glue at the base of the bunny. Now I'm going to come in with some hot glue and wrap the ribbon around the rim of the terracotta pot. You could use E6000, but because the bow is going to be locking this all together at the end and the ribbon is laying on top of each other nice and tightly, you're not going to really need E6000 with this, even though hot glue and terracotta don't really go so great together. But the bow and the fabric on the ribbon coming together tightly, it's going to hold it in place very nicely. For the bunny, let's go back up to its neck and let's add a ribbon around it, trim off the extra that you don't need, and then just glue that down into place. This is where it starts to get that high-end look without it being a Dollar Tree product. And these bunnies, can you believe this? They have these at the Dollar Tree. They were so expensive for so long. I know Hobby Lobby with certain coupons, well, they don't do coupons anymore, but certain discount weekly sales they have, you can get them cheaper now. But I remember when these things first came out and they were so expensive, and now you can get this bunny for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. And it gets that topiary bunny look without spending a ton of money. So The bunny's bow is on. It's looking so cute and polished. We are now going to come down to the bottom foam, put some glue on that foam, and I'm going to just tuck that Spanish moss down in there to conceal the foam. We don't want to see that part. And then to finish the look, this is a new greenery pick I found at the Dollar Tree this year. I love it. I am going to give it a little bit of a haircut because the greenery stems are kind of long and I don't want it to collide with the bottom of the bunny. I'm just going to pop that right down in there, and now we have a completed beautiful high-end topiary bunny look for spring. I truly am grateful for you all being here and visiting with me today. Thank you so much for leaving comments, giving thumbs up, subscribing. It means so much to me. If you think you're going to give one of these 3 projects a try, let me know down in the comments. If you missed this video yesterday, I'm going to link it right here so you can check it out. I'm so grateful for all of you, and until the next episode, bye friends.